Hello everyone, thanks so much for being here at Contentools blog. We're here today with Kasey Luck. She's a mentor for 500 startups, and I'm very happy to have her here with us to tell us a little bit more about how do you work with companies as a consultant for marketing and sales. How do you help companies overcome marketing and sales challenges?
Sure. So there are two different parts to what I do. I do client work, as you mentioned, and then I also have a blog about email marketing, and I use a lot of content marketing,
of course,
for growing my own email list and then selling some info products to that email list.
That's interesting.
So when it comes to client work, I have recently been primarily focusing on helping companies with their sales funnels. So I come in and kind of provide that external look at how their funnel works. And I think where I bring the most value is I help the growth teams and marketing teams take a closer look at their buyer persona and their customer persona. And it's interesting, everybody kind of has an idea of who that person is, but then when I ask questions like, how do they make the purchasing decision? What's the triggering factor for actually, clicking the buy button? Not everybody can answer that. And then when I ask my clients to draw their buyer process, not their sales funnel, everybody can draw their sales funnel, but then when I ask them to draw their buyer process, which is different.
Yeah, it's from the customer's point of view, right?
Exactly, because you need to be able to know very intimately what they go through to make a purchasing decision. So not everybody can do that, or the majority of the teams.
And how do you help them do that? How can a company that, let's say, I am the marketing manager of a company and I see that my sales team is having some troubles, or maybe I'm having some troubles coming up with content ideas. How can I draw the buying journey that my customer goes through to overcome that, to create content that is more connected to the problems that my customer will have when they are trying to make a decision, or maybe they are searching for solutions like mine. So how do you help them do that click?
So there are many moving parts to this, and it's both technical and heuristic analysis of what's going on. First of all, look at each stage and step of your funnel and see where the weird drop-offs happen, like where you lose a lot of customers and where it's like weird. It looks like you're not supposed to lose customers on this page. It's pretty straightforward, but you are. And look very closely into those pages, what's happening there, both on the technical side, like the page speed, load speeds, right? And stuff like that, but also install tools that allow you to watch user sessions, watch like how users are interacting with those pages, and it's very fun to watch. You can actually have actual video recordings, and you see where people, like, what content they're reading, because they would actually like go with their mouse over the lines of the text that they're reading.
So like heat maps and things like that.
Heat maps, but also I don't think a lot of people know about this, but you can have video recordings of what people do on your pages.
That's great.
And you can actually just like go and watch those sessions, and it's not scalable. You actually need to watch each and every session.
And you have to request for people to do that for you, or you can do that anonymously.
You mean, do you need to tell people that you're recording them?
Not really?
I don't think that's a legal requirement in the US.
Okay.
You just install literally like a snippet in your page.
And then you watch.
It's anonymous. And all of like the information they're typing in.
It would work
hidden.
as a UX test, but from a distance. You can watch it for a distance. Okay.
When I do that, I can really see where people spend the most time on. So that's where like the heuristic approach comes in. Like once you watch a certain number of these sessions, you have a feeling for what people are missing. And the most common issues that I see companies, or like mistakes companies make that I work with, is that they try to sell at each and every stage of their funnel. and people are ready to be sold to only towards the end of the funnel.
Perfect. We have a lot of content on our blog about that.
Most of the customers on your, maybe on your pricing page are still in the awareness stage, and they need content that corresponds to that awareness
And
stage.
that's very interesting, because we think, being logical, if that person is looking for pricing, they're ready to buy. Not really, right?
Not necessarily. Yeah. They might. Maybe they just clicked pricing because it was prominent, or they wanted to have a look. But besides pricing, they have a lot of questions about your product. And what's interesting is another analysis that I do is I see how many people go to the help section. Around that time,
Yes.
like that stage in the funnel. And what that tells me is that they're looking for something, like for either that's case studies or a question that they have that is not answered on
It's
your
not
sales
obvious.
page. Yeah, and they have to go to your help section to find that.
Okay, so let's say that these analysis will help a lot if that person, that potential customer, already knows me. They are already on my page. So there's a lot of things to be done after that step, which is really hard to get to that step, right?
Yeah.
Like my question actually is, how do I get that step? How do I, and that's maybe the question for a company that is just launching a new product, or maybe they are entering a new market, or maybe they're a startup and they want to gather more people around them. But how do they get the attention? First place, like from the top of the funnel to get into that point where they will need a sales improvement, a sales funnel improvement, what to do?
All right, so we'll take a scenario where you know who your target customer is, or you think you know.
Okay.
And you have their profile, you know who they are. So here what I recommend, and what I didn't get to in that other scenario where people are already on your page, you still have to talk to people. Like in that scenario, you talk to your current customers and ask them about their process and everything. In this case, if you don't have customers, but you know who potentially could be your customers, find those people and just actually talk to them and really understand all their problems that are connected to what you help them with, what they struggle with, like everything that would help you understand what they care about.
Okay, and what they care about is actually I think it's the main ingredient for my content strategy and for my email marketing strategy, isn't it?
For sure. And so many companies focus on their features and what they can, like what they are basically.
Yeah.
Instead, really know your customer and what they care about, and focus on what you can do for them, your value and your benefit to them. And it's a fine line. It seems like those are the same things, but it's like all about phrasing and your approach to this, and it really makes a difference. So instead of saying I sell fast cars, which is you describing your feature, you can say in your marketing copy and in your content, you say, in our cars, you will get somewhere twice faster, or something like that.
Makes all difference.
Yes, it makes a big difference. Or instead of saying, our cars are safe, you can say you don't ever have to worry about your kid in the, I don't know,
I totally get it.
Not good with cars, but I think you get the point.
Of course. It's just using your customers' shoes for a while.
Exactly. And then of course, just talking to people is not enough. That's where you start, or that's what you do. But another thing that I recommend to people that I work with and companies I work with is your community, your target audience already exists somewhere. You're probably not the very first person who is doing X. The people who you're targeting are already congregated somewhere. Find those places and really study what they're already interested in, what they're reading, liking, sharing, and stuff like that. And there are tools to do that. You can find out, first you find what blogs they read, and you go and search specifically those blogs and see what posts get the most shares. And that way you know which topics your customers really care about, and then you can create content that speaks to those problems. and really study what's already out there in terms of content marketing, and either do it 10x better, write about it 10x better, cover it better, or find a topic that hasn't been covered and tackle it in a way that, you know,
those are great
the readers wouldn't be able to resist.
Yeah,
It's hard, but that's what you gotta do.
perfect. So this is what I got from this conversation, and it's been, I think, 10 minutes tops, and so much content right here. So find out who your customers are, try to resonate what their problems are and what are they trying to overcome, or maybe what speaks to them the most, and you have tools to do that, to find out what it is. And then after you get customers to your page, improve and improve and improve what's going on with your sales pages that shouldn't be actually describing features, but try to use the copy that is from your customer's point of view and not the other way around. So thank you so much for this, Kasey. Thanks so much for being here with us. And it was
Thank you.
Yeah, it's very. I told you it's very natural. Even the lighting is natural. So you see that we are here in San Francisco. It's past 5 p.m. So it's getting darker and it's time to wrap up. So thank you so much. We'll see you next time on our Marketing Heroes videos. Bye bye.
Thanks so much, guys.